Listening to Wolf Spirit Radio.
Hello everyone. How are you today? Welcome to Answers from the Universe in the Andronicus Transmissions. I'm here with JP and looking forward to a very interesting and fun show. Hello JP, how are you?
Hi there. It's freezing.
I heard it was snowing over there. Is that true?
Not quite started snowing, but it's freezing. It's really, really cold.
Like, do you have to worry about the chickens and all that stuff?
Well, I built a new coop for one of them, and it's full of straw and cozy. But yeah, it might get cold out there.
Oh, we have beautiful weather over here, so it seems really weird. I mean, at one moment, someone's messing around with the weather or what's going on, but one moment it is absolutely beautiful and people were actually wearing shorts the other day, and then all of a sudden it goes into this really cold snap,
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, that's not normal.
Apparently it's the Russians. The Russians. Listen, I've got to go and get my coffee, so I'll be with you in a second, Jess.
Okay, sure. I think you said coffee, but I thought it was usually builder's tea.
I got
so
my tea,
I don't know what's going on here. All right. You weren't supposed to hear that. But I thought, I was hearing things and I'm like, wait a minute. I had one of those moments where it was like a weird, dimensional shift, thinking that JP drinking coffee. What dimension am I in right now? It seems like it should be tea. But anyhow, there's something really weird going on. Now, it's funny because when I was out on the West Coast, and I haven't said this publicly, but there is this really weird feeling that I had of another timeline where we had this conflict with Russia, and it was like I was kind of in and out of this reality and thinking that, well, maybe this was a timeline we might have gotten into, but we didn't. But I got the impression of Russia being on the East Coast, and then I felt them on the West Coast, in that there was actually some kind of explosion that occurred when I left Massachusetts and then went out to California, and they had questions. It was Massachusetts-New Hampshire border, but very close to where I live, and they said it was an earthquake. But all the signs didn't reveal that it was an earthquake. From what, another friend said, it seemed more like a sonic boom. And when I checked, it felt like it was in another dimension. Yeah, it might have manifested here as a sonic boom or something else. But as I looked a little deeper in this dimension, it looked like we were in a conflict with Russia. And then when I went out to the West Coast, I saw the same thing. And I said, well, whatever is happening in this other dimension, I hope we can resolve it, because even though it's not happening in this timeline, there seems to be some really weird bleed-throughs going on. So I'm trying to get some answers on that as well. That has been really, really kind of a little bit weird, but nothing terrible happening, other than strange weather patterns.
Such as?
Yeah.
So you're talking about a war with Russia?
Yeah. I had this vision, and it was in another dimension. It was almost like it was possibly our potential timeline, but we shifted out of it.
Ah, right. Apparently there are these storms that are happening that are like a bleed over from nuclear weapons in other dimensions.
Yeah, and I believe that's happening, or that at least I know that happened. And what's really weird is, remember I talked about in one of the shows where there was a submarine on the East Coast, and they had some things in the news about the submarines being there, and then I could actually look inside one of the submarines, and I saw a being there who I figured out he was extremely angry and had a strong projection, like he could broadcast his consciousness. but he was extremely mistreated and angry. And later on, I figured out he was one of the eons. We had Tom on before talking about, or Bylar talking about the eons, and we kind of figured that out later. But yeah, there is some weird stuff. It happened. There was this explosion that happened north of me, but close enough. And keep in mind that there's a nuclear energy site very close to where I live as well. So yeah, it's kind of it was a little unnerving, to be honest with you, because I was getting these visions of it. So what do you know about the weather elsewhere, or some of these explosions happening elsewhere in the world? Are you talking about some other things that I don't know about?
Hello. There we go. Hang on. There's an issue with my switch here. Why is that not working? Okay. So apparently there's some sort of high pressure in Russia that is sending weather patterns over to the east, and then there's over to the west, which is us, and then there's some other thing that is over in the west that is pushing the good weather right up to the Arctic Circle. There's some weird thing going on anyway with the weather, so it's really cold.
Yeah, I think it's a dimensional overlay or a bleed through. Yeah.
And is that personal as well? Is that happening in people's lives as well?
Very likely, because it's almost like dealing with a parallel situation. I mean, think about if we were actually in a battle, or say Europe wasn't hit, but the U.S. was, but the U.S. is very interconnected to a lot of different regions of the world, especially through trade and other political connections. And so if we went into battle, or we were in crisis, and I've had other people tell me that they had dreams of actually, a group of people, bombing and hitting the U.S. And so I just keep on trying to, working with the galactics to shift us out of that. But imagine you're right in the middle of like a nuclear event or just a war. Does the anxiety would be elevated, panic, fear, worry, illnesses, feeling immobilized and all that other stuff. So, some of that could be, as we're there, we're here at the same time. And if that's bleeding over, then we're having, psychically or intuitively picking up some of that energy. So, and it's funny because we talk about this with the Fallout, Fallout 4, which is that video game. And that was one of the reasons why I went out to the West Coast, is because I was seeing this nuclear event, with fallout shelters and all that out in the West Coast. And then when I saw that they were really trying to promote the New California, which is a part of the game, is the New California Republic. And so, just whatever I needed to do to go out there, and that's where I identified Dorian. Dorian was trapped. He's an ET, and he was kind of imploding. So I was, with assistance, I was able to get him out. He was trapped in Agartha somewhere. And, this kind of stuff just sort of was creating an experience that, like, all of us were going to get affected by. So that was part of the reason. I call it a mission. I don't know any other way to say it. I'm not working for the military. But with the Galactics, they asked me to be in certain places, and somehow I'm showing up in these different areas and doing whatever it is that they asked me to do. But and trying to project this kind of peacefulness or whatever. But what was interesting is that people were, someone actually told me that there was a lot in the news regarding accusations against Russia as far as interfering with the polls and elections. And so I thought, well, this kind of an interesting coincidence. that here I am seeing this, and then this stuff's coming up in the news. So if that's the biggest problem that we have with Russia, then that's great compared to what it could have been. Some people think it's motivated to create tension.
Well, I think there's a lot of, they're trying to build, so Tim Good saying that there's Britain officially prepares now for war against Russia. I'm just, Russia is a bigger threat to our, this is in the London Times on the 22nd.
Wow.
The threat to Britain from states such as Russia and North Korea is greater than that posed by terrorism, the Defense Secretary said, marking a significant shift in security policy. Well, that's a load of rubbish, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like, what are they trying to do? Trying to incite something.
Yeah, because it's good for business, but it's not good for us, and it's not good for the planet. It's not good for the galaxy, so that's not what...
But are they doing some kind of weather pattern warfare? You know, I mean, is that what you have an impression of?
I don't know what my impression is. It's delicate situations. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because to me, I felt that there was, I mean, we saw the fires. I know that Dionysus was heavily involved in that. Here's something else that's been going on that just came to my attention. And I know that people say, well, you know, you're for, you know, the type of stuff I bring up seems a little bit more galactic or whatever, but I'm just going to throw it out there and tell you how I gather information. I had an awareness of, you know, we've had these incidences with Dionysus, who I'm putting a lot of blame on for the fires, as under the guise of Leonard Crumb, or that's how Baylord refers to him. And so that the fires that just showed up out of nowhere and just, you know, continue to perpetuate. And they were also happening in the parallels. And so, you know, and of course the Algruk were involved because they were messing around with the interdimensional space, and I literally saw them as well. And those are like a frog species. But we saw then people started contacting me and said, did you know that, you know, Trump has this Algruk image everywhere? And, you know, it's kind of used, like the frog image is used for, you know, this sort of sarcasm and whatever else that's kind of come in. Keck, yeah. Well, they call them, the species is called Algruk, but it's very similar and they look the same, and so my newest awareness was not just Dionysus, but Dionysus' mother, Semele, Semele or something. Now she's a human who was with Zeus, which is Andronicus, right? And we all know, and from the earlier stories on the insight that I got, is that Dionysus, who is a demigod, essentially, because his mother is human, was trying to was running Jupiter because Andronicus left Jupiter, and he doesn't care about power, and he just kind of goes from place to place, and he kind of took his position there, took his throne there, and then was kind of controlling the galaxy, and there were some issues. And I also saw him linked to Macron, who was in France, and then there was some other things. But his mother, who didn't get the credit that he thought, you know, he figured that he's a king, he wants to bring her back up. And so I found her kind of trying to usurp her authority in different areas. So that had to be removed. It's been really, really weird. But I think there's a whole interplay of different things that are going on in the planet right now, that each time we're able to do a shift, we do the shift. Now yesterday, I saw a book, I could see it my third eye, an esoteric book in France that I had never seen before. And I think, and I didn't know really what to do with that, but I felt like there was a being that was connected to that book and that was influencing things. And then today, when I did a transmission with Meetis, Meetis actually shuts the book. He shuts a book. So I was just trying to figure out what is going on here, but it seems like something has changed and shifted, and I believe we are closer to being in a safe situation rather than a more dangerous situation. But something has definitely shifted, and I don't think we're 100% out of it yet.
According to my astrology guess, we're not going to be out of it till the sort of November, December zone, and things are going to get weirder and weirder astrologically and more intense. So it's like, I don't know if that's good news or not, but the fact that it'll be, yeah, and I think that here's my take on it, is that there are timeline shifts that are happening, and there are events that are going on from different timelines that are affecting us all at the same, all one after the other. So from one timeline, it might seem like something that is like a rare occasion, but because all these rare occasions are all happening at the same time, it all feels like everything's happening at the same time, but they're coming from different timelines. Is that what you're picking up?
Yes, exactly. There's multiple timelines that are converging, and so it feels oddly familiar, but it's out of place, and they're trying to correct that without creating a major aberration. That means if they shift us out abruptly, it could create natural events. It could be some strange gaps, where power structures are. So they have to be very, very careful. And when I say power structures, like political rulers, like right now, you think that our rulers are completely and entirely ruling from our dimension, but they're not. There are other beings that are kind of merging with them or consulting them. That's affecting things. That's why it's weird. It's like the behavior of Trump sometimes is very weird, and the behavior of Putin. I mean, sometimes Putin looks like he's ready to do some kind of Las Vegas show or something. It doesn't make any sense. And then the guy from North Korea. I don't know what world he's in, but he thinks he's like in the 1940s or 50s playing around with nuclear weapons. I mean, it's bizarre. And they're not even aware of it. We think everything is linear, everything is in one dimension. But when you start to step back from that belief system and begin to look at things, you say, you know what, this doesn't go with this. These two experiences, I mean, there's really definitely an overlay here. It's not right. And so it brings in this high weirdness.
Definitely high weirdness. And it's like, also, I don't know if people have noticed that some people say it's like time is like a slinky. It's like it slows down and speeds up and in these random ways. And part of my thinking about that is that it's so that these events can kind of fit in the right order. That a bit of time is kind of, they stretch it out a bit so that it doesn't come too early or too late. It's just at the right time to have the right effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but then they're throwing in a few curved balls in the meantime.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you never know. You can't. It's like hard to relax, isn't it?
I will tell everyone, don't worry. Try not to worry too much. Just keep the highest intention for humanity. If it helps you, go to the Andronicus website and get that symbol to remind you, and to ask Andronicus and the Galactics to support in that effort. I know that we're working with Rhodan and Andronicus And I know that they're guiding us and the many others that come through. And you can even see the Land of the Wizards are helping us in this situation when we read the transmissions today. But, hold on to that. And, when I did that show with James Rink and Peter the Insider, and Peter said to me, you know who stopped that nuclear bomb that was over in Hawaii? He says that was it was one of those places, and he said, that was someone you channel, Andronicus. And I said, it's refreshing when someone from the ACIO confirms what I know, and they actually see him come in from, into our denser space, but he's called him a light being, and coming in to stop something for us. But it's easier for them to kind of have us in agreement with them that we expect to see the highest potential for humanity and shift out of it, rather than, having to dodge every bullet that comes through here. So, it's the collective that really has a strong persuasion, and if we send intentions of wellness, protection, and that we are in divine providence, that we are meant to be here, and that we're all safe, then that's what we do. So what they've been doing is projecting that there's supposed to be an apocalypse, to the point that people, even if they don't want it, they're expecting it. And they got everyone, huge amounts of people in agreement to that, the general populace that's not awakened. There's multiple movies out there right now that is creating an expectation of an apocalypse or a World War III scenario. And it's really not set in stone that we're supposed to have it. Even the religions, Christianity has interpreted Revelations, which I don't know how they do that, because Revelations is, and I read through it multiple times, it is not as clear cut as they've interpreted it. It's actually very vague. And, they turned it into an apocalyptic event, and they keep on wanting this to happen because it's very important for people in their minds to have this expectation of this to be true, because then it validates some kind of belief system that they have. But they need to get rid of that, because it doesn't have to be true. The religions were man-made, and they were imposed on us by certain galactics that wanted to control us. So none of this was necessary. And I know some people might strongly agree with me, but you have a right to be in your own reality, but not to impose that reality on us, to the point where you're expecting doomsday for everyone. That's not what this planet is about. This planet is for learning. It's not here for warfare.
And we didn't come all this way just to get blown to smithereens.
Absolutely.
So
doesn't even make sense, does it, JD?
No, that's not what we want, and that's not what's going to happen, and all of that. But yeah, it's because it's all about, we create with our feelings and emotions, and if our feelings go all wobbly, then our reality gets wobbled. So this is, right. It's like an ultimate test again, but at the same time, it's like a live test.
I agree. And unfortunately, those that had the reins and were in control allowed it to get to this degree of imbalance. But they worked with whatever consciousness they have. It's time for us to stand up and say, all right, you've had your time. The cabal did, you played your games. You took from what didn't belong to you. But the power is shifting, and so we just need to assert ourselves. You don't have to be in some kind of wealthy manner and be some kind of powerful political leader in order to make change. You are making change right now where you are, and it is everyone's equal according to the divine source. We're all equal. And so each person has a persuasion. And a lot of people have resigned to think that they don't have any say in this. And that's a complete lie. There's no truth in it whatsoever. So, you don't have to be a leader to make a decision and to say, we've had enough. And so I guess we're just not going to listen to that, and we're going to see that we're in harmony and that our society is expanding and growing, and that we have good communication and everyone's well and healthy, and the planet is getting healed.
And so, I think the pizza's getting burnt. Give me a second.
Okay. Now I'm really starting to wonder, is this the real or real not JP? He's eating pizza. All right. I guess that is the universal food. If I have my way, I think that pizza should be the universal food that every country, nation in the world should have. It's just, maybe they already do, but the food that bridges all nationalities and races. I don't know. But it's not good if it's burnt, JP, so hopefully you caught it on time. Anyhow, we do have, let's see, we're going to have Rhodan today, we're going to have Andrew today, something from Land of the Wizards, and Meetis, and Gary. And also, the second hour, we're going to have a discussion with some of my friends who wanted to talk about, I don't know, dating? Thinking about someone suggested that we should do an Andronicus dating service.
Back.
Did you hear that, JP?
No, what's that?
Well, someone suggested that we should have an online Andronicus dating service.
Well,
it seems right, doesn't it?
I don't know if I want to be responsible for too much of that. Oh, yes. Anyway, yes. There's a thought.
Neptune.
There's a thought. Yes, Neptune dates. So, so I might have to jump out in about 10 minutes. The stove wasn't even going. So, should we do some transmissions?
Sure, let's do it. Okay, why don't we start with Rhodan?
The time is measured in light. We await the signature of time to state the origin of all things. This helps us remember where we came from and where we're going. The surf rises and falls in the ocean. The sands have peaks and burrows in the desert. The air accumulates clouds and dissipates. The sun reflects colors and lights of spectrums that you have yet to learn about. There are things above and beyond your knowing that you have not scaled to yet. I could send an emissary to you to show you all the shortcuts, the brief explanation of things unknown. You would take and not appreciate it. The purpose for you to be here on planet Earth is for you to grow, to reach scales of what was thought to be levels of impossibility. It is a place of self-realizations, the quiet moments of contemplation and understanding the secret chambers of the heart and the depths of love. You're a wondrous species filled with light and possibility. They came to you with their religions and paradigms to proclaim you're in need of redemption. They came to you with rules and guidelines that were not intended to be your own, but that which they brought to you from the prisons of Saturn. You imagined that their glow was from on high, but rather they came from the prisons of outposts and Saturn. This is our fault. We did not maintain a close eye upon the systems and the prison breaks occurred. Then they began to corrupt other civilizations. It is a rebellion on many levels. We have struggled the most over it. I'm sure you recognize that they have infiltrated Earth as well. They often come as Platonic scientists, typically operating under the laws of Platonic solids, masses, geometric blends of concepts. They come in as watchers, higher evolved spokesmen who are here to provide insight. They profess their consciousness to be higher in morality. They state that they're from the upper dimensions. They're here to teach humans how to ascend. None of this is true. In fact, they teach humans self-righteousness, exclusionary practices that cut out or limit the rest. They come in as messiahs, claiming to save the humans from themselves and their own sins. They come in as dark ones, mysterious, drawing humans down endless roads that lead to nowhere. They come in as prophets, giving signs and talking about impending judgments. They come in as military, abducting and enrolling under the concepts of science, but rather to extract soul essences of those whose soul has the ability to help humanity. They come in as leaders, guiding the way, but revealing later of their checkered past by taking advantage of many. They come in as seducers and seductresses who appeal to your desires, but are a facade of the truth. They lure you into scenarios. They tell you to betray the ones you love. They hope to see you destroy your own happen. Their hope to see you destroy your own happens, and then they disappear.
Happiness,
sorry. They hope to see you destroy your own happiness, then they disappear. They come to you when you're in need of help, but have agendas to take more from you. They come to you as false mates, love bites, those who wish to handle or control you. They tell you that you were meant to be together, but have no proof. They claim to have history with you here, but have never met you before. They extract information from your history to accomplish this goal. In the end, their intention is to get you off of path and leave you into a place of despair and confusion, so you have little effectiveness on the planet. Any and all of these experiences, hijacking and controls, can be restored or cured with a desire to brush yourselves off and get back onto path. I regret that you have encountered any number of these experiences, yet it has better prepared your soul for future galactic encounters of various species. At this point in time, humans are gaining more knowledge from experience than all the teachers could provide. The divine source of all allowed these things to occur beyond our better judgment. We hoped to protect you from the dark ones. We wanted to cover you over and maintain your innocence. The realizations of truth did not make you a sinner or cause you to be required to be forgiven as a sinner. Instead, it opened your eyes to learn and grow from all of this. We were wrong to be overly protective and have learned from the divine benevolence that all things have expanded into the good for all humanity and the galactic community. I am pleased to see now how many have awakened and come into understanding their most magnificent truths of all, that they are loved and no longer in need of self-condemnation. Most of you realized this long ago, but still needed to know that you didn't need a savior as well. Humanity is in different phases at this time. They're all growing at their own pace. Don't judge one another in their level of growth. This is a practice you will learn from the prisoners of Saturn and process of self-righteousness. Be liberated and free in your minds, hearts, bodies and soul. Consider others when taking actions or making decisions. Your happiness does rely on those around you. If you are cruel or self-centered, then others will carry your burdens. Be universally minded and carry your own weight in conscious consideration of others. This will help your path flow more easily. Love is on my mind and what I wish for all of you. Peace is in my heart and what I know is up ahead for you. Leaders, seductresses. Yeah. Interesting.
There's a lot there. You have to almost listen to that a few times to hear all the different things that he was saying. So what we thought were these spiritual leaders that were coming in to help us, and that they were a higher dimensional, and they were putting on this facade of being very holy and pure. And he said that they were from Saturn. So I guess we have to ask if we're listening or learning from someone, what the origin is, to get to have that inner communication and the sense of knowing and trust your gut instincts and your intuition when you're listening to someone. Because if they sound too overly righteous, well, I mean, I'm sure they're coming from a few different places, and I think some people are, have the learned behavior of doing things this way, but it's the ones that are really luring, those are the ones that we have to watch out for, because it's what they call the false light. So, but do listen to that more than once. I'm sure you'll get some insight and will help you. The next one's Andrew.
Oh, what have you done? You've changed the time stream completely. You are no longer headed towards a harsh road ahead. Tell me, how did you do that?
I don't know. I think we've followed the guidance of Source.
The many who came to visit me are now gone. The reality I created for them to visit seems vacant but not destroyed. I don't know what to do with this reality. It's very lovely here with soft breezes of warm sunshine and cherry blossoms. You can see fields of green grasses and wild flowers. I have brooks of water and waterfalls all around. You seem to remember this place, don't you?
It reminds me a bit of my childhood. I remember the cherry blossoms. They are beautiful. I remember watching the brooks and passing over them, getting my feet wet in the process. I remember the fields of green grasses and the large field of sunflowers in blossom and brilliant yellow. I remember the ocean waves crashing up on shore, but the water becoming warm enough to step into on a hot sunny day. I love these memories.
This space that I'm speaking about becomes the very beautiful memories of your childhood or of the lifetimes there on Earth. This space takes the data of your memories and converts it into realities.
Well, these memories are common to springtime in New England. Does your place of dreams just hold memories, or can it expand into the unseen, beautiful, natural vistas of maybe future events?
It can grow into anything, like a never-ending dream of paradise. Do you like it?
Is it artificial, or does it have a set sound and truth in the space? Or is it merely a facade or illusion?
The alchemist awakens and builds brick and mortar of new realities. He must work in the quantum and create the basis, the foundation of his reality. It is very hard work and time-consuming, but the rewards outweigh the labor and time invested. I am the prime alchemist. Let all who know me come and see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like he had his own matrix there. It was cool because I was seeing some things in my childhood, but didn't relate to it until after we started talking. But there were others that used to go there and were using the space. I think he said they disappeared, so I think that they were maybe I don't know, just brought somewhere else. I thought that was interesting too.
So,
okay.
Let's move on to we've got quite a few today.
Yeah, Land of the Wizards. I saw Bartholomew was looking over an oasis of time where he sees a boat of fishermen off the shore of Wales. In his heart, he was longing to be there. He allowed all sensory reactions to occur. He could smell the ocean air. He could feel the waves underfoot. He could hear himself gasping for air and the adrenaline of excitement of the danger of being out at sea and drawing in the fish. He thought about how the boat could be capsized and the loss of lives could occur. But the adventure, it was the adventure that drew him in. He thought to himself, this is a dangerous way to live and there isn't much reward for it, but the excitement of spending many hours at sea felt most alluring to him.
Sit now te John de Wal Electrium. Oh, leave me alone. I'm not a daydreamer.
Kelty stood there holding his staff and telling him that there was work that needed to be done, and that there wasn't time for daydreaming.
Kelte, let me have a little bit of fun. I'm always working. You're worse than all my 3 ex-wives combined. What no? Very well. I suppose you're not going to listen to me anyhow. Give me my staff.
Then Kelte dropped all of the items that he had on his shoulders to the ground, and then he said,
Sunawali. You're expecting me to carry this? Hat, Senastali. Oh, I'm sorry I offended you. Can you please pick up the bag? I know there is a lot of work to do. I just needed a break, but you are correct. We must make sure that all our people are safe. Naga Sentua.
He leaned down, picked up the bag, lifted it up on his shoulder, and brought it up a hill to prepare a camp. Bartholomew went into a subtle trance and began to walk clockwise around the hill. This was the sacred hill for the wizards, and in that evening they would sleep on top of it, so they could connect to their forefathers or wizards of old. Bartholomew then glanced over to Kelte.
Soon we will have answers of the shift and how we should direct our people into the truth of this reality. We will combine our alchemy as one to secure all that is within our realm and the many realms across the galaxy and other dimensions. My feet are very cold as I walk upon the land. This indicates a pole shift in my interpretation. It could create many problems. I think it might be best to try to stop it from happening. Ruinus Arunas Gamut Terra. Yes, the runes, Kelte. That's a good idea. Consult the runes. We may align with Asgard and Odin to gather more data, but first we must consult our forefathers. Ayat.
The land began to rumble as if volcanic activity were to arise. Bartholomew nearly tipped over and dug in his staff to hold the space. Then a new moon arrived.
Now this changes everything. Something new is happening in our galaxy. I don't know what it is, but I feel we have new hope on the horizon.
Yeah.
So, Wales. Is this long time ago? Or
No, I think he's thinking about, a long time ago. He actually went into a daydream. He was sitting there, and Kelte knew that he had to take care of some things. But he was just drifting off, reminiscing of probably a lifetime here.
Hang on, just gonna run to the pizza. Just check it. Hang on.
Okay. We're doing a pizza checkup right now. But later on, we're gonna have the song, That's Amore. And the moon turns into a pizza pie. Now, who would have figured this out? That JP's making pizza right now. But it fits with the music. And, let's see, we're probably going to be going to Meetis next. What kind of pizza do you have, JP?
Yeah, no pizza.
No pizza.
No peanuts. So the fire went up. Okay, so Mr. Meetis.
Yeah, Meetis next.
Hello, flower. Today is a day just like any other day, as beautiful as summer or a Sunday in May. An ivory tower looking over the blue bay. That's how I would like to think about today.
It seems like you are in good spirits today, Meetis.
The June bugs are flying and I'm looking at butterflies and bees. It's a lazy day today and I've propped my bag up against the trees. Do you remember Aramis?
Yes, Meetis, I do.
How about Hobart and Horatio?
Are they with Shakespeare?
Yes, that's correct. They all fell through the gate once or twice and got into a lot of trouble. Many got confused about who they were and where they came from. Donatello, now there's a name who gained a lot of fame but fell through the gate 3 times and never became the same. Antillo, do you remember him?
No, I don't, Meetis. Was he famous?
He was supposed to be famous, but it never happened. Sometimes time travelers miss the mark and they suffer dearly. The gatekeepers don't particularly care for them and catch them doing unsavory things. In time, everything is revealed, and if one tampers with the time stream, one must reconcile with timekeepers. There will be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. How about Merryweather? Merryweather. Can you recall the story about Merryweather?
No, I can't recall that story either, Meetis. Doesn't sound familiar to me.
He was a brilliant explorer and discovered many things that could have helped humanity, but the Dark Ones cut him off and humiliated him and made him recoil from what he had discovered. He went to the grave not sharing his secrets with anyone, but I knew what he found. The Dark Ones don't make it easy for us here. We really do want to help, but they get in our way, or they stick us in prisons and mistreat us, or make us look like fools or crazy dreamers. There are times that I actually agree to be quiet about what I know, but in your time people are beginning to awaken, aren't they? You share all of my silly stories and simple songs. Do you think they like me?
I think so, Meetis. I think you make everyone feel happy and wish that they could be around you.
I spend a lot of my time alone, but I've had my share of parties and celebratory events. I got involved in many a banter in alehouses. I had many political discourses in the House of Comments. I've been in high and low places, and in the end feeling as alone as I was before I got there. Why is it that this place has so many people, yet it's so lonely at times? The strangeness of it brings a tear to my eye. I would just be happy to figure this out.
Do you think if you had a mate, you would feel more whole?
I've had many mates and felt less whole than when I began.
Maybe they weren't the right one.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't ready and they weren't the right one.
Do you think you'll be ready soon?
I'm ready now.
And then I saw a book shut, and Meetis disappeared. Then I closed my eyes, and a bright light opened up like a sun coming up over the horizon. A man stood alone, overlooking the water, watching the sunrise. Is that you, Meetis?
Here's a song for you.
And he slid over a piece of paper on the ground. I observed him as he was wearing dark contemporary clothing, a gray hat, a dark overcoat, dark pants, maybe an umbrella to his right side. He looked like he was dressed more of the 20th century. I picked up the paper, and then he disappeared.
So, here is the song. Dear Primus, sing this song in fair weather and during day showers. We watch Big Ben tick from hour to hour. The church bells ring, the children sing. The city comes alive to reveal what daylight may bring. Take no discourses, simple talk, the language is there to unlock the mysteries told. Be not so bold, don't think you know it all, or you will sink and crawl. Listen hard between the lines, there's other messages revealed, there's other messages revealed in your mind. Unlock the codes, you are here to stay, and don't let anyone else lead you any other way. Until another time, my friend, we close the door to something old, my friend. The darkest dread, the history of the fight. Instead, may our travels be merry and supported by the light. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. There's no reason to fight. La la la, we're supported by the light. La la la, we're supported by the light. La, la, la.
Way to go.
Thank
that
you,
was a
Meetis.
good one. Yeah, he was pretty mysterious.
Many mates and felt less whole than when he began. Oh, the tinge, bittersweet tinge in the end.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or even the Land of the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you reminded me of my three ex-wives or something.
Yeah. 3 ex-wives.
What's going on here? Yeah. So I think, that's why we're going to talk about romance in the second hour.
Oh, wait. Do we have a guest?
Yeah, I believe Devin and Martin Magic Moon and maybe Ray. I'm just waiting to see who's able to join us.
Okay.
But we'll see, And anyhow, maybe but we do have Gary, so we're going to take a music break in between while we gather our guests.
So here comes Gary. One to beam down.
Watermelon. I'm eating a watermelon. Why did they try to take the seeds out of the watermelons? Do you know that watermelons come from my planet called Urkton?
For some reason, I'm having a hard time believing this story, Gary.
Yeah, you doubt everything. You lack a sense of adventure.
I don't know if that's true, Gary. It's just one of those things that you say are so outlandish.
Outlandish? Me? I'm rather conservative compared to the others.
Oh, alright, so where is Urkton in the constellation?
It's beyond the stars. You take a left, stop at the Milky Way, and then go down, down, down. Then go through the vortex and pass through 2 moons with a glowing quasar near it. Are you writing this down?
Gary, even if I had all the instructions or directions, how would I go there? With what vehicle?
You have a vehicle. It's right behind you. We had you take it back from the person who stole it from you. We've been inviting you for many years now, and each time you have an excuse. Just dip your toes in the water. It doesn't hurt to get wet. If you just blink your eyes, you'll be here in a nanosecond.
Gary, do you think if we share this information, others will find out where you're at, where your planet's at?
If we don't want someone there, they will just get lost and end up on the upside down planet.
Oh, do you mean the alternate space?
Yes, but I prefer upside down. Would you like a drink? I made it particularly for you. It will help you with your memory. You forget so much daily. I expected you to have a higher aptitude at this time, but I know you're under a lot of pressure. Let go. Why worry about these things? Live a little. Eat some bananas.
Okay, Gary, sounds like good advice. I'll check out my new vehicle and maybe I'll drop by for one of your elixirs.
Oh, you like it? It tastes a bit like tangerine.
I'm not sure if I like the taste of gin very much.
Oh, very well. A tart sangria for you with a little bit of added elixir to it. There you go. I put a lime in it.
Okay, Gary. I'll plan on seeing you.
Don't get caught up with the stardust, or else it will be years before I hear from you again. I'm sure that's been your problem all along. Bye for now, Earth creatures.
There was Gary.
Okay.
There goes Gary.
Tell me to drink gin.
Yeah.
So, like, what? I had to look it up. I'm like, Tanqueray. That sounds familiar.
Yes. So we got some tunes for the peeps, have we not?
Yes, we have, let's see. Oh, we got some oldies here. Mm-hmm. Well, we have one new one. Sort of new.
Okay.
Lenny Kravitz, I Want to Fly Away. We have Louis Prima, I'm Just a Gigolo, and that's Amore by Dean Martin.
So, let's fly away.
Right.
Hello, everyone.
We're back.
All right. I think we're missing, we got Martin anywhere.
There he is. He's coming along now.
It's coming out. All right. So I just want to say this, we're on the second hour of the show, and, we had this discussion before. I just wanted to welcome Devin and Ray and I believe Martin Magic Moon. I'm not sure if he's here yet. But, so Ray, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Yeah. Well, it's a very good show so far. I'm enjoying it. And, beautiful messages from, especially from Rhodan.
Yeah,
Love
very
it.
powerful.
Loved it. Like you said, I'll have to listen to that about 3 or 4 times before that one was thinking, but such promising. You know, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was talking to JP the other night about, I said that there's a bit of a confusion going on, or something, there's something weird going on. And it's just funny how you mentioned that, with these timelines.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting that the timelines are, you know, kind of coming together in a weird way, creating overlaps or bleed-throughs. And it creates a little bit of a strangeness. So, you know, I mean, nothing really horrible happening. It's just that it's odd.
No, it's not horrible. It's just, you're just feeling that you're here, there, and everywhere sort of thing. You know? Well, I don't know. I always stick to my gut feeling. And I just love the songs you just played. The songs, what beautiful.
They're fun, right? Fun songs.
Well, because they mean a lot to me, all of them, because Dean Martin is my older brother sings like Dean Martin. He used to go around singing in nightclubs, and it's amazing because and he sounds exactly like Dean Martin when he sings.
Nice.
Yeah, and all they're really connected to me there as a childhood when I used to sit outside his door as a child, listen to him singing. This is Shut Yourself in the Bedroom.
There's something about those old classics, and I think when I went to Reno and Lake Tahoe, all of that stuff sort of came up, and those old songs, and like the Italian cafes that I used to go to in Boston when I was younger, and you know, we'd go there and, you know, meet with friends, and you have a cappuccino or espresso or something, and the music's always playing in the background, and it's timeless. It's like if you probably go there today, it'd be the same thing. They
would never go away. Well, it's like you just done your last trip. You had, you know, Frankie boy turning up, Blue Eyes.
Yeah. Who would have guessed? I mean, yeah. I just thought this is really strange, you know, and my friend actually brought me around to the locations where, you know, he might have hung around at. And, and even, you know, like in Reno too, where he probably gambled at or performed in some of the clubs. But, it just kept following us. Even, you know, it was Valentine's Day when we were there, which kind of goes along with the theme of us being here.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is romance and love, and, you know, I wasn't with my boyfriend there. I was with a friend. But, you know, Frank Sinatra was there, and I could have sworn he's standing there looking at us, and he says, "There's my girls." And I had to laugh, you know, because that's exactly what he would have said.
Yeah.
You know, not to have anyone feel like they're being left out, and that he's acknowledging the females there. But it was a lot of fun. You know, there was some kind of hope and promise, and even with Frank Sinatra's songs, when I started listening to it in a different way, like looking at what he was saying, and he, you know, essentially saying that life is difficult, but you kind of brush yourself off and get back on your feet again.
Yeah,
you know, because that's life.
Yeah. Them sort of songs always used to be around my house. My mother loved it. my older brother loved it, and it was like, we always used to get together and sing the sort of songs as a family, you know, just go around, your turn, you sing, and we used to sing these sort of songs. And, I found it fascinating. So, that was great. Oh, talk about Meetis. Sometimes he's felt lonely, Possum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we've all been through it. Doesn't matter if you're, a galactic. You know, they all have their little moments, don't they?
They do. They all have their moments. Yeah, I was surprised the way he kind of disappeared today and then reemerged in a more contemporary outfit. But it's almost like that time travel thing that he was mentioning.
Mm-hmm. I found that very interesting. Like, well, I mean, like, Chad's, I mean, like, saying we had the dating thing. That was so quite funny. We talked, you know, debating about that. I mean, even Chaz, she dated him back in the village. She was a wench.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he certainly gets, obviously, I think we've all been around these people without realising we have been around them.
It's easy for them to show up and appear in our reality, and if they don't want us to notice them, they will be noticed. But it might be one of those things where after you're gone and you think about it later, and then you say, wow, you know, I think something was going on there.
Well, yeah, well, I think we can see that now. We can see this connection, can't we?
Yeah. I just want to say hi to Devin over here. Devin's with us as well. Hi, Devin. Hello, Devin. Are you there? It looks like he's there, but you can't hear us.
Perhaps he's having trouble with, I think, I don't know, maybe trouble with
Same with Martin. Martin, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I think you have to get closer to the mic or put a headset on or something.
Is that better?
That's much better.
All right. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Were you muted?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just talking to Ray, and we were, you know, he was discussing the music and some of the other stuff, and you know, back in the day, that music was used a lot for romance. You know, just kind of, it was a fun time. People would get together and meet. But something came up, I think, Martin, you brought it up, about doing an Andronicus dating site. Why don't you tell us what was on your mind? I think you and Devin were kind of going back and forth on the idea.
Right. Well, I think we had the idea. I think, like, I kind of thought it might be good to, like, get, like, intergalactic kind of people, or people like the People Channel and things, to have, like, a dating site, like, as a fun thing. And, yeah, you could maybe have, like, I don't know, somebody from Lyra that wants to meet someone that could be lost in, like, a planet in the galaxy, and there could be, like, somebody out there for them, or, you know, they might not have anyone on their planet, so it might be good if we had, like, an intergalactic dating service.
Might be a little trickier doing intergalactic, but, you know, I think whoever's here is already connected in that way, aren't they?
I guess so, yeah. I think, like, you know, or maybe you could even have it like, I guess you could make it more like earthly human by kind of like doing a starseed galactic kind of dating service. Like, people say they might be from the Pleiades or Orion or whatever, could meet each other and things.
Or Andromedans.
Yeah, or Andromedans.
Andromedans, yeah. Or, you know, like you said, it could be Lyran, or it could be Alpha Centurion, or, you know, anything, any of the different combinations. It could be from Vega and be Siddharthan.
I quite like the idea of Draco dating. I think that might be fun.
Of what?
A Draco dating, like reptilian dating.
Oh, dating for Dracos. Well,
yeah, that could be fun.
Could be a draconian date, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like. I wonder where they would go on a date. Like,
well, they wouldn't ask; they would just tell you, wouldn't they? They'd just say, "Hey, over here, right now, this is where we're going." Right? No.
I wonder, like, what humanoid people might want to date a reptilian. Like, there probably is quite a few. I think
they are. I have a friend that insists her husband's a reptilian.
Yeah, so, right, people like with reptilian nature and like reptilian traits, they could date real reptilians.
Yeah, have a hat and tail party.
Yeah. So they could like have like real reptilian dating experiences. I don't know what that would be like. I don't know where they would go, but
you're interested in trying to see what it's like.
Yeah, it could be like a torture, couldn't it? It could be like reptilian dating might be torture. Like actual, like real life torture. That's might be what they do.
I found one. Here we go.
Are you there?
Yeah, I just looked up lizardpeoplemeet.com. Really, you guessed it, a dating website for lizard people. Started by lizard people of New York reptile king Jeremy Kaplowitz.
Oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, Lizard People Meet aims to connect all the disparate lizard people of the Big Apple and beyond.
Wow, and beyond too. I think they were stolen some stuff from you there, JP.
Reptilian dating service. Yeah.
Jeremy and beyond. I don't know. Bring some.
It's just a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's no kissing allowed. There's only licking. Licking with the tongue.
It's on the internet, right? JP?
Yeah, lizardpeoplemeet.com, yeah.
Wow. Devin, what do you think?
I think if we go any further with licking, V's head's gonna explode.
In what way?
I know she likes to keep things around PG-13.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. So when it comes to licking and biting, we don't want to go any further.
Oh, okay. All right. So you heard that, Martin, right? We don't want to get in trouble.
No, we have to.
Censorship. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'll talk nicely. I do anyway, I think. But yeah, I reckon we could do like we could go one more of that. We could do like Andromedan people or Palladian people or Arturian people.
Yeah, Arcturian people.
Already got it. Pleiadian.club, Andromedan.club, they're all there.
Yeah, but they don't have an Andronicus Neptunian site, do they?
No, we don't yet, no.
But we
that would bring in a lot of mer people, I bet.
Ah, mermaids connect. There we go.
Yeah, we could have mermaids. That would be good. Like, mermaids are meant to be from Lyra, aren't they?
Flipper.com.
Flipper?
Yeah, you know, like you have, what is that called? Grinder, where you can swipe people left and right. You can flip people. I don't know where this is going.
You need another mackerel, I think. I'll throw him another mackerel.
Is it
Mackerel
Tinder?
book.
That's the one where you swipe people.
Tinder, that's the one.
Yeah. Grinder's the gay one, I think. But we could have gay interplanetary dating. We can't discriminate.
That would be the purple penguins, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, purple penguin. Purple galactic purple penguin dating. Brilliant. Yeah.
Well, I think we can encompass all of it. So it's either Starseed or ET dating something.
Yeah.
But it would,
Yeah.
I think it would be Andronicus Neptunia, because this is where Andronicus got into dating. It was on Neptune.
Yeah, we could have like dates on Neptune. We need to set up a bar on Neptune, like that does like really good cocktails and things, and people could go to Neptune for dates. That would work, I reckon.
That's how, yeah. Maybe like a cyber environment or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it's like on Neptune though. I think the cities like around the planet, or like maybe they're more like higher dimensional or whatever, but we'd have to like get into that dimension for a little while, and then we could have like a floating bar around the planet. And like, it could be, I reckon it would be like an ice, snowy themed bar. And like, people could like, just sit there and chat and have cocktails and talk about, I don't know, what would people talk about?
If it's Andronicus, if it's based on Andronicus, there'd be like some place where there's like a fire and like outside maybe, and maybe some huts. And there would be, someone playing music and, some kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, I reckon you could have like Meetis as like a dating coach. He could like give people advice.
Oh yeah. Meetis could be a dating coach. He would definitely give some good advice.
Yeah. Or like I could do it because I spent so much time on dating sites. I think I know how to do it. Like, it can actually get quite miserable being on dating sites for so long, because like people don't really. That's the thing, right? If you had like extraterrestrial dating site, right? People would be able to read into your mind more. Like you could put a nice profile, and like they would read into it more rather than just like scanning through it. It's like, oh, you don't have enough money for me. Like off you go. They might think, wow, you might be a really good person, or actually, I might want to eat you or something. Yeah. So, I reckon that they would take their time more and be more like, actually want to get to know you rather than just look at a picture and look at a profile.
I heard someone talk about how, they're interested in meeting people that have this like a starseed connection, or kind of maybe have hybrids or whatever. And then when they actually meet them, they're like, wow, they really look like aliens. And yeah, I mean, that could happen, right? You have a real starseed type of site, and then people, different ones want to meet each other, and then you could actually meet someone that is maybe a visitor here. I mean, I'm sure we've met them,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I reckon because people are coming more like open to that sort of thing. So, but it would be rare in the planet, because like, yeah, I don't think people would always be that local, would they? Like, I'm probably not going to meet a Lyran or Palladian down the road, but I might do.
You might.
They're probably in like Canada or somewhere, or
Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I mean, you think about all of the speakers and many of the people that are based in Canada. That's kind of funny. Alfred Levermont Weber is up there, and there's a few different people that are up in. But I think you can meet them anywhere, actually. Possibly in one of those spiritual sites, like the locations where it's. I would think that you in England would have a lot of visitors there, especially around Stonehenge, or, just Avery. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like if you hung around there long enough, wouldn't you? Sort of see someone.
Yeah, you'd meet people. Yeah, I reckon you would do. You'd meet. I don't know if I reckon you'd meet like, I don't know, more kind of like spiritually interesting people rather than more like extraterrestrial or starseeds or hybrid people. But yeah, you'd meet interesting people that way. I've done it. I've hung around stones. So, that's the way of doing things. But I'm not.
You've hung around Stonehenge and.
Yeah, I used to go like, up there a lot for like solstices and things like that. I haven't been for a good few years, but, probably about 4 years last time I went. And you do meet some really good people. But, it's kind of so busy and stuff, so you don't really talk too much. But that would probably be, where would extraterrestrials meet, see, in this planet? Where would they kind of, want to meet you? Like, if somebody was like, off this planet and wanted to meet you, where would be their best place to meet you? Would it be somewhere like Stonehenge or somewhere, or like some sacred stones, or?
Oh, well, Spirit Radio.
Yeah.
We could meet at JP's house.
It's a bit small.
A bit remote as well.
Yeah, I mean, the World Spirit Radio is a place where people are sort of connecting. I don't know, JP, do you find that people are literally connecting through the network and they're, becoming couples through the network?
I don't know whether about becoming couples, but certainly, for people to recognize each other as being from, the same sort of soul family or clan. You can't really, you can't take a simple cross section of people and find, that this, cause there's so many different groups here. So what we need to do is have some kind of way that people can resonate and find their way, like falling into a gravity well, finding the thing that is them, And I think that's, I put out my stuff, and I don't know what's happening, why, what's the word? I'm not seeking results, but the results that would be fantastic would be for people to find who they are and who their friends are. And I think that's where it is, it's about finding your old friends.
Well, there seems to be attraction to Wolf Spirit Radio for this certain group of people.
There's been a lot of friendships, lots and lots of friendships, and I do think Wolf Spirit does bring people together, and it's just another facet of it. I mean, people get a little nervous. Well, this isn't spiritual, talking about people becoming, meeting someone, but that there's something to be said about not wanting to take this path alone or feeling ostracized. Many have felt ostracized for years for being, interested in some of the galactic topics. And so, for you to, feeling like you want to find someone that understands you for who you are and someone that you can have a very in-depth, discussion about your feelings about what's going on with the world without being accused of anything. And, and even some people that I know that are in relationships right now that they've evolved, but their partner hasn't, and they find that, they're being called crazy, or just not very misunderstood. And even go a step further, some of them say, no, you need to go to counseling. So, I mean, this has been a hard road for a lot of people, and so the whole idea and thought of opening up your heart to being in a relationship with someone that is on the same, plane with you, and so, can think like you do. I mean, any number of us could kind of, have the general conversations, but wouldn't it be wonderful to be with someone that pretty much gets what you're talking about? And so, I know that many have come to me for sessions that are looking for someone. And I mean, the chat and some of these other areas in Wolf Spirit, it's a casual way to meet people, But if that person is married or in a relationship and no, the other person's not really sure, and is it appropriate or inappropriate to approach them? So there's still a little bit of an apprehension and a bridge that needs to be crossed in order to say this is an open space that you're in search of, a relationship with someone, and it could be, a place of consciousness too, that unlike some of the other dating sites where people need to be honest a little bit about what they're interested in, and then find someone that is in agreement with that. So, but I don't know. It's just something that we kind of brought up and we're thinking about. But I know a lot of people, some people are like, oh, I don't know if I really want to hear or talk about this. But, and if you already have a partner, none of this is relevant right now. But, for the many others that are interested in meeting someone, it might be the right topic. And I think, Andronicus's lifestyle definitely makes us think about it. Some of the things he's done.
Well, I know that there's a few couple that have met each other through Wolf Spirit Radio. They have got connected, and well, I say one, her name is Cygnus. She was in the chat. She doesn't come in a lot now, but she has found someone from Wolf Spirit Radio as a dating sort of agency. So, but I think it's a gathering of souls, and we all know we got a connection to each other. It's a draw here. It just draws you in. If you don't like it, you leave. If you do like it, you stay. So there is a connection to the station. I believe in myself that, us souls have had previous lifetimes together, maybe married to each other, or brothers or siblings or something in that way. It's really drawn us in, Yeah, like, Vanessa's saying Cygnus and Phaedra. They met on this site, on this Wolf Spirit
That's
Radio.
nice. Yeah, it's nice. And I'm sure that there are others that we don't know about.
You never know. Two commenters on YouTube, because I don't pay much attention to the YouTube. I'm too busy the rest of the time. But who knows what comments get? People may meet through the comments on a Wall Street Radio show or something. Who knows?
Absolutely.
I mean, we might find
Absolutely.
other kind of liaisons or partnerships, or working partnerships, or family, soul family ties and things. I suppose it started out when I started I made a group on Skype, which was about the 1-2 Ray people, because often can be quite maligned and abused. People have all sorts of projections. And so I just wanted a place where people could hang out and feel feel safe in themselves. So I made this group, and that's what became Wolf Spirit Radio. So that's how it kind of started, is to gather the soul groups together.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice that most of the people, I mean, you watch in the chat, everyone's typically greeting each other in a really nice way, and some people might have a little bit of heated opinions here and there, but they're venting or whatever, and for the most part, people are very kind to one another and just have their conversations. It's very nice. But it's a place for those that have felt outcast to be able to find a place where they belong. That's all. And we all have a place, and it might as well be pleasant. If you're going to go drive down this road, you might as well make it enjoyable.
It's home, Jess. There's a lot of people here who feel very comfortable in this you know, in this chat, especially the chat is great. The only unfortunate thing about the chat is it's run by Chat and Go, and Chat and Go is a bit bloody dark in my eyes. But well, I'm not going down the road. But yes, I mean, you just look at the chat and see what people are saying. There's never hardly anybody saying anything abusive to anybody else in this chat. Everybody appreciates everybody else. And that's what I love about this chat, and that's what I love about this station. And that's what I love about you, JP, bringing out to the rest of the people. You know,
Just doing what I do.
yes.
But JP, you're a people person.
So
You
they
think
say.
about, yeah. A people and galactic person. But you know, you do see the things that are, you see something and, you know, fill in the gap there. And,
Serve the need, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's all it is just, you know, connecting people, isn't it? I mean, you connect the right people together, and it's not just dating, but even the friendships, or, you know, that's how things get done, usually, or it kind of brings on another element to it.
Assemble the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. It's a great team. It's, you know, because we all think on the same line. We're all trying to understand. We're all trying to get a bit of the puzzle. And, you know, and the more we get together, the more, I think the more stronger we grow. I really do. This is, Wolf Spirit is really growing well.
Helps to build confidence.
Yeah, you know.
And I want to say thank you to Vanessa for holding all that space in the chat room, and with the other things that she's working on just now. We will let you know in the future. She's got some good ideas, and she's doing some really, really, really good work. So so thanks to Vanessa, and more recently Sean and Gaz, who are backing her up and keeping the space. Because that's what it really is. The chat room is a space for people to initially contact each other, like a calling channel on the CB. And then people can connect with Skype or with Facebook or however they want to connect, and take it from there. But it's good to have a place where all over the world anyone can go any time of the day or night. And it's kind of, there are very few moments now where the chat room is idle, where there's nobody there, nobody chatting with somebody about something. It's great.
You're right. I've noticed that. I've come in odd times to a quick look, and there's people chatting. And it's so homely. It's just nice. It's just homely. You know,
I think we should.
Sorry, Martin.
I think we should have a festival.
Have a festival?
We should do like a Wolf Spirit festival. I don't know where we'd hold it though, because like
nobody's got any cars. I tell you, I have a 300 watt PA system with multiple microphones and things. We could have like a live show. You could come to my barn.
That would be cool actually. We could do it in the summer.
We just need like a place for everyone to, you know, where they have to sleep later.
Yeah, that wouldn't be easy. No,
in the
Maybe we could all go to David's house.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd love that, I'm sure.
We'll just get some bikes and head over to Davy's.
Well, if it's warm weather, we can sleep under the stars.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
I've got tents for people. We could camp out. We
Something, we gotta figure out something. I'm sure we will. But, you know, we even talked about meeting in Staffordshire, right? Staffordshire? Sorry. Meeting over there and doing the whole Meetis walk. You know, visiting the pubs and some of these places that, you know, I had a memory of doing sessions with people. And, you know, we validated the whole location. Chaz mapped that out for us, amongst others.
I remember you saying that. there is places that you can hire out, and there's big hotels there. We can, if we all sort of like, what's a bit of money?
Someone organized it a bit, sure.
Yeah. And then have a sort of like a period of time in the summertime, obviously. That, see, it's obviously people flying there. But I mean, have a vacation there, and we can take over this, well, not take over the hotel, but sort of like have a lot of us there. Or places around there and then meet, you know, like in a hall, you know.
Yeah, I saw that someone has a message too, and I think this bothers people about the leadership or whatever. It says, it's so refreshing. This is from Rosa from Rhodan. It's so refreshing. I've been in so many spiritual groups gone old or tainted by leader rubbish. This is the best way and only way type of scenarios. I agree.
Yeah.
You know, everyone just sort of gathering together. You know, we're all equals and we're here to help each other and just to, you know, be there. Just have fun. So, and we deserve it. We've done a lot of us have done some very strong spiritual work. So, and
I agree with you. I mean, especially you, JP, and everybody has. But it's just, I think very soon it's time to rejoice. I really do, and I feel very strongly on that. I do. Just hope we've done our homework, we've done our time, we've been here, we've come back 1,000 times. Let's get it over with. Let's get it rejoiced. Let's have a beautiful summer and make the world a beautiful place with love.
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Listen, we're coming up to the end of the show, so final thoughts, I think. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so, I mean, we're just kind of playing with the idea that Martin and Devin, you know, you guys came up with the idea, and it's great, you know, especially for those that are not married and, you know, want to be in a safe environment. I think it's an extension of what we're already experiencing here at World Spirit Radio, and we're grateful. So I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat for joining us and adding your comments. It's really beautiful. Some of the stuff's interesting, and special thanks to Ray, to Martin, to Devin, and of course JP for, you know, making this all happen. And we had another great day today. Thanks for joining us, and think about it. Don't shy away from this topic. Even if it's not for you, you're not looking for a mate. It's another extension of our social interaction here and helping people to be who they are and you know, feel more comfortable in an environment where it's open to all of those that are galactically connected. Because we are our own future, aren't we?
Yeah. Thank you, Jess.
Definitely, yeah.
We'll see you next week, and have a wonderful evening.